I am from the agency, the design agency, and not just the design agency for the finance. And we have a chance to work with the banks and with the fintechs and all kinds of financial services. And this is our very narrow focus niche where we, during, let's say, past 3 years, have created more than 60 financial service designs. And often our consultants, UX consultants, our designers, we get asked and to speak, to give knowledge of what are the best practices of implementing user experience, what are some trips, golden case studies, magic bullets that basically can make any business go skyrocket. And sadly, I can say that there is no magical case studies, magical stories. There's lots of UX tools that you can find online. And what's really good about being nowadays a UX engineer or UX architect or even designers, you can read all of that in the internet. But the thing is, even if you read all of them, if even you try to implement them, you can implement them for the wrong reasons, in the wrong way, and they may not work in your case. And you know why? Because you may not have the right mindset. And this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about user experience mindset and how it can take you to the next level, how it can help you to implement these user experience tools. And to understand it, actually, we in our team we actually discussed lots about this user experience mindset because quite a lot the clients, the other people, the designers we hire, not everybody at the same time understands what the user experience means, despite the name being so self-explanatory. And you see, there's people who view user experience through the marketing and sales lenses, and we call it a marketing mindset. So there's two mindsets. One is from past, that could be the marketing mindset, and one is the future that will help you to make that product skyrocket, to make it usable, to make it serve and help your users. And to understand where this marketing mindset comes from, we have to take a look at the past. A couple of decades ago, in an offline world, marketing and sales ruled. Traditional marketing and sales ruled the world. Because back in the days, if you wanted to make a business skyrocket, all you have to do was to purchase a huge billboard ad, a TV ad, a radio advertisement, and you could make people buy your stuff. And it worked. It was costly but effective. Just with an aggressive traditional marketing approach, Coca-Cola reached almost 2 billion of daily drinkers, right? And that's quite a lot of money. But what's interesting, by Forbes researchers and other research companies, they're saying today that advertisement has become ineffective, especially in the millennials generation. They don't react to advertisements, and other generations, they start to dislike them and distrust them because it is just losing their trust. And still, it's funny because the price for the advertisement is only going up. For example, if you'd like to buy just a 30-second advertisement during the Super Bowl that's coming up, you would have to pay 5 million USD dollars. Imagine, you can launch few fintech startups with that budget. And on that topic, if we take a look at what the fintech agencies, startups like Revolut, N26, and others are doing, they are getting their customers, they reached already millions of customers a day of daily users without this aggressive traditional marketing where they buy a billboard ad, they try to say, guys, you have to come to us, you have to use our product, you have to buy into our stuff because we are the best. And but actually, I can say that marketing in a traditional way, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense because it's a quick fix. You need to make money, so you invest money, and then you invest money in marketing, and then you repeat it until it stops working, until it becomes ineffective. Because today's customers, as reported by also researchers and in the Forbes and other places, they don't react to this advertisement, and they look for the values in the product. They look for the meaning. Whatever they're buying, whatever they're using, they look for the more reason for them. And if you fool them once, and if you don't provide them reason or value, they're going to ditch you, because today they can choose basically any other product because there's so many of them. And exactly is happening in the financial industry. Thanks to digital onboarding, enrollment, and you can switch basically any financial product to a different one in 10 minutes from anywhere around the world. And this is where the marketing age, past age, is and where it does not work, and experience age is the future. They're dangerous if you are using the marketing age and not acknowledging experience age. And when we work with our clients, the fintechs and actually banks, we often ask them how you perceive user experience and why you have to come to the UX design agency and not other design agency, and what UX user experience mean for you. We got a lot of interesting answers, and it's, I think, also a common misconception in the financial industry that they think, oh, the banks are bad and the fintechs are good. I can say it's equally. They're always, it's because some of these fintechs have this also a past marketing age as well as the banks has. So these questions that we gather from our clients and other people, that they understand that the UX for them will help sell, will optimize the conversion rates, will help to jam more information into any product, into landing pages, add more features, protect the position where they are currently located in the market, and of course deal with the fragmentation. And now I will go through each of these misconceptions that have marketing age mindset and debunk it with an experience mindset, and maybe give some little insights and my previous personal experience with this. So with the selling, in a bank, as often happens, after quarter reviews, they understand they need to rise their sales numbers. So obvious choice to do is that they have to sell more leases, more loans, insurances, and basically any other products they have. So let's say for such a website like this, and executives at their meeting, they say, okay, we figured out, we read a 300 million button case study where one UX architect or designer, they changed just the buttons color for the e-commerce website, and they've got their sales in a short time up for 300 millions. And they read it. So they come to the UX design agency, they're saying, hey guys, we need to increase our revenues, and we're doing that by optimizing our conversion rates. And trust me, if there's something that's hard in the world to change a mind, then it's a mind of a banking executive. You see, this banking executive, they have a selling mindset. They think that they are going user experience tools, methodologies to sell more instead of to serve to the client. Because when we analyzed the product, the website, we understood the actual thing is that the people who are enrolling to the bank's products, they're enrolling to their online users cabinet. While they're checking their finances, they're understanding what's wrong with them or that thing that they can actually do, they enroll there. And other people enroll to the banking branches. And the people who visit the landing page actually are the customer, are not this bank's customers. So when we analyzed that landing page further, we understood that there's no possibility to enroll to these products. There's just plain information and information to go to the branch. Unlike in this example, in the N26, you don't have 20 of buttons. You have one button and say, hey, if you want to become our customer, click here and we can take care of it. This is the approach to also suggest clients. Try to understand what your user wants from you, how you can serve them, how you can give them a better experience to serving to their needs. Information. So, if there's two things that are valued in financial world, it is money, of course, and information. With the second one, they're more generous than with the first one. But to understand this myth and why they want to use user experience tools to help you push more information, you also have to understand and analyze your client. You have to understand what they as user persona are. And it actually makes sense because banking people and financial industry people, they compare things in data, in numbers, in analytics, then they dedicate that, they push some logics around and make decision on top of that. And they want you to do exactly the same because they do it that way. And then they're trying to squeeze as much as possible information, explain it every possible detail, how, what works, why number are bigger than their competitors' numbers, and make what they want to make you a logical decision that you have to buy their product. But actually, that's the thing. It does not work that way. User experience cannot help them to push more and more information, more numbers, more data, so they would buy it. Because information does not work, just due to our unique structure of a brain. Emotions resonate with us way, way more. If I would ask you when At what date, at what time was your first kiss, was your first date, you wouldn't remember. But what would you remember is the emotions that you had, the sensations. For example, here, the Atom Bank, I actually don't know much about this bank. I don't know what they do. I don't know how they're doing. What are the numbers? Are they good? Are they bad? But I take a look at this, sadly in this case, still image, but I see there that they are shooting out these colorful dust or whatever, and they look fun. They look interesting. They look welcoming. I don't know what they're doing, but I'd like to try it. Suggestion here is to analyze your brand values, to analyze your product values, and most importantly, check in that with the users. What are their values? And deliver emotional design to you. Trust me, if the thing that you're going to hear in the future, it's emotional banking. The featuring. Oh, this is my favorite one actually. This is very popular amongst fintech startups. So they think that when they're building their own financial startup, because they've seen success of Revolut, N26, Monzo, they also are going to build one. And how they're going to compete with them, they're going to add 20 more features than the Revolut currently have, or any of those. And they think that if they're going to have these 20 features, the users will definitely choose them instead of Revolut. And this, again, this for example is one payment form, and all of those links are different kind of payments that you can do. And they think that if the user experience as a tool will help them to put all of these 20 features inside this product, make it usable, make it it's going to be usable, simple and minimalistic, and they're going to score. The issue with this thinking is that they are not understanding why they're adding these features. And if you analyze and go deeper, these features are added because they think they're going to provide some solution to the user. Then actually you shouldn't focus on so many features that are not going to work in the end of the day well, but focus on solution what these features are meant in the first place. You see, I always call it nailing the basics, and this is what I liked what the fintech startups such as N26, Revolut and others did. They at the time found out what is wrong in the banking industry. It's because today's people, they make so many transactions very frequently, and they log into their banking to check these transactions. So they realized that existing enrollment, existing logging does not work. We need to make it faster for the modern world. They solved one very simple problem. They nailed down the basics. And when they did that, they added more and more features. And this is what startups most commonly don't understand. They want to be Revolut right from the start by having these 20 features. For example, this one is what we did for one cryptocurrency startup and also a fiat holding startup for fiat currency holding startup where you can send money in tons of ways. Phone numbers, email addresses, social networks, IBANs, cryptocurrency addresses, etc. We can of course give lots and lots of options how to send money there and say you can choose one of those, or as we researched and understood, the user just want to paste in the address, paste in the money, and get to the success. Protection. This is popular amongst legacy financial systems, legacy banks. And I'm going to go straight to the form. Some of you may know what it is. This is a wire transfer form. And it takes a huge effort to fill it in. And actually it's costly to send money, international payment to abroad banks. And they sometimes come and say, guys, make this a UX. We need a user experience to make it look beautiful, to make it look, as I always call, sexy for the new generation, for the new world, and it's going to be awesome. But that is just a paint job on an old car. It's going to look shiny, it's going to be, of course, expensive to do because at first you have to understand all of that and clear out the rust. But the engine is always going to be the old one. And that is protection. They're using user experience tools to protect their position in the market instead of disrupting it. And here, for example, is example that disrupted the market. It's TransferWise. These guys created, first of all, fast transfer, cheap, and with a simple form. And what happens when you don't disrupt and protect instead? Now, few banks lost quite a lot of customers because they didn't, because people started to use more TransferWise. Now banks had to strike a deal with the TransferWise where they are using their backend platform, most likely paying for that to not lose, to get back these customers. And last of all is a bit philosophical, but it's fragmentation. And in fragmentation, we notice that there are big companies, market-driven, and they often have teams that don't even speak with each other. As you can see in this example, where I believe that this development, product, and marketing team for each of those products, they don't even speak with each other. Only thing they might have in common is a brand book. And it happens, it usually, users feel it. For example, when we launch or somebody launches a new application for the online bank, and they really like it. It's a great online mobile bank, but at the same time, the old online bank, the web banking is terrible, and they say, why can't my online bank be also as good as this mobile application? Simply because they're two teams separately working this project, not communicating with us. I have a personal story for the fragmentation. I wanted to get a credit card 2 years ago, so I filled out the online form, the KYC, and after 2 hours they called me and said, "Congratulations, Alberts, you will get your credit card, we will issue it after 3 days, pick it up at your local branch." I got happy, went out to my local branch, and waited in line to get this credit card. So my number comes out, I go, and the branch lady says, "Hi, here's your credit card, but by the way, you need to sign these documents and fill out this KYC form." I say, wait a minute. How comes? But I filled it out already online, and now you're asking me to fill it again. She says, "Well, I didn't know." I said, "But do I really have to do it again? Because I really did it." She says, "Well, most likely the first KYC was to check your eligibility for this card. And this one because we needed to actual signature and physical paper and everything written details." You see, clearly shows that there are some teams that they don't look at their product in the flow. They look it in a fragmentation. And users, they don't perceive good fragments. They perceive very well a flow. And they don't know what is happening in your company, what the politics are. What they care is about their experience. And just to recap, the experience mindset versus the sales market, the marketing mindset. Start serving your customers instead of selling them, instead of mindlessly pushing things to them. Deliver emotions, because we resonate with emotional designs instead of just numbers and comparison of those between those. Don't add too much features. Understand what these features are actually meant for, what kind of solution these features are providing your users. Disrupt instead of protect. Ask yourself, if I had the knowledge of today and technology of today, would I do the same stuff that I did yesterday exactly the same way? If the answer is no, then it's time to disrupt. If you're not going to do that, somebody else is going to do that, and create a flow instead of fragmentation. And I will not wait for the shout out. I'm going to honestly at this moment say, if you think that you're able to be a UX banking consultant, that you can go to the banks, to the fintechs, and tell them about new age experience mindset, then we're definitely looking for you. Come meet me by after this talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Albert.